Hello my friends, I hope you are doing well and that you are having a good day so far. I had a request to recreate a look that I posted last week. It was part of a makeup challenge and the theme for that day was YouTube or Instagram inspiration, and I chose to attempt to recreate the look that Scott Barnes did on Tati in the YouTube video that they did together a while back. So I had a request to film that look, so here we are. I did decide to switch up a couple of the products that I used, but I think the end result will be the same. So this is probably gonna be a longer video, so we're just gonna dive right in. I will zoom you in really quick and we will get going. Just gonna make sure my hair is out of the way. And so Scott doesn't like to use primer, but he also does makeup on a lot of celebrities that probably have a lot better skin than I do. So I'm gonna use a primer. I'm gonna use my Touch in Sol No Pore Blum, and I'm gonna mix it with a little bit of the Becca Backlight Priming Filter because today's makeup is all about the glow. Alright, so he first goes in with concealer and does like a really light concealer and does highlighting and contouring. So I'm going to go in with my BH Cosmetics Total Coverage Concealer. I have this in the lightest shade. It is shade 100. I don't think that I have any of the products that he actually used on Tati, so we're just trying to get close here. Alright, so now that that is pretty heavily applied, I'm gonna go in with my contour, and I'm going to use, and everything, most everything is cream. So I'm gonna go in with my Anastasia contour kit. This is in the shade Fair, and for the under the makeup contouring, I'm gonna go with this shade in Mink for my nose, and then for the rest of my face I'm going to use this shade Shadow. And I like to apply cream contour with these oval brushes. This one is from Lab Squared, and I have really been enjoying it. Now this is gonna look, if you haven't seen the video, this is gonna look kind of crazy to you. If you've seen the video, then you know his method and you'll get it. But just a disclaimer for people who haven't seen the video yet. He works in these layers and the end result is just gorgeous, perfected, bronzed, sculpted skin. The man is a genius. Okay, so that's the easy part. I always have a hard time contouring my nose. I feel like I just have a hard nose to contour because I have a kind of bump here in the bridge. So I always have a hard time with it. We will just go for it and hope for the best. He used an angled brush on Tati, so I think I'm gonna try this one again from Lab Squared. This is their brow and eyeliner brush. And I'm gonna use this dark shade and maybe a magnifying mirror for good measure. All right, so we're just gonna leave that there. I know I look crazy. So the next, for the jaws, he kind of gets pretty intense. So I'm going to apply a little bit more cream contour with this flat e.l.f. contouring brush. I'm also gonna dip into a little bit of this darker mink shade. And Scott is also big about body makeup too. So he takes it down the neck, and then he also usually gives some contour to the clavicle and puts makeup on the décolletage as well. I hope I said that right. This is like the second time in my life I've contoured my collarbone. The first time was the first time I recreated this look. So I am not a professional, and I don't know that my collarbones are level. But we're gonna put stuff on over this to help blend it all together. Okay, so now that that's done, we are going to blend it in a little bit. He likes to use a brush like this to start blending out the concealer, and he mentioned in his video that Jennifer Lopez calls this a cat paw brush, which made me laugh. I thought it was really cute. I always get nervous when it's time to blend out the nose contour, but one of the tricks that he uses is you just take your brush and you just lightly brush over it. Alright, and then to help blend that cream contour, I'm just going to use this little bigger oval brush. Scott didn't use any of these brushes, but this is just my comfort zone for creams. I feel like these brushes do a really good job with creams. And we have some pretty intense contouring going on here. All right, I also have to contour my lips. Can't forget about that. So I'm gonna take probably a little bit of the mink and then a little bit of the shadow. And I have some lip balm on. I need to dab that off. Okay, so I'm going to overline my lip with the cream contour, just ever so slightly. There's the bottom. Alright, so there's that. The next thing that Scott did, I believe, is he applied like a really dark Chanel foundation to Tati's décolletage. I'm just going to use my Tarte Better Bod Bronze and Contour. It's like a liquid bronzer. I used this last time and I really liked the result. So I'm just going to apply a little bit on this tanning mitt that is also from Tarte. If you buy the full size of the bronzer or their self tanner, it comes with a free mitt, and this mitt is just the best. It is so soft. It applies product so well. It's washable, and it doesn't stain. I just love it. He then uses a Neutrogena spray-on sunscreen, which gives her like the most gorgeous glow. I don't have that. I really want it, but I don't think Neutrogena is cruelty-free, so I'm having like an internal battle whether or not I should get it. But I do have a little bit left of my Sol de Janeiro Glow Oil. This is not the original bottle. My daughter dropped mine and it shattered and it spilled all over the floor, and I was just able to save like this much of it. So this is what we're going to use to give me some glow on my décolletage. I think I'm actually going to apply it with this mitt to keep my hands from getting too dirty. And I hope you can see like how natural and how good of a job that bronzer did, giving me a nice even bronze wash to my skin. Oh, this glow oil smells amazing. I'm so sad that my daughter destroyed this product. Alright, so I have a nice little glow going on here. And it smells so good. Seriously, if you guys have not smelled the Sol de Janeiro, so good. Okay, next, I believe he went in with foundation to kind of marry this all together and help it blend more. So let's get into that. Alright, so I have two drugstore foundations. I think I'm going to use my Flower Beauty Light Illusion. And I'm just going to put a pump on my little palette here and just start applying it. I'm going to use my It Cosmetics. This is just an angled like kabuki brush. I don't want to apply a ton. I just want to kind of even things out, if that makes sense. And then for the lips, you know, they're pretty lined. All Scott does is he just takes foundation and just taps over. So you're not eliminating or blending away that overlining, you're just softening it a bit. All right, I need to do some more work with this nose contour. Nose contour is a tricky thing, and if you get it wrong, it can look really bad. So that is what I always have the hardest time with. I'm just gonna take a little bit more of that concealer to help clean up this area. I'll go back and tweak that more later. So now that our foundation is on, Scott doesn't do this, but I am not a makeup artist, and I want to make sure that I don't have any cakey layers, so I'm just gonna go in with my damp Real Techniques sponge and just kind of lightly dab everything together, especially under my eyes. If I have too much product there, it can look cakey and emphasize my fine lines, and we don't want that. All right, now I'm going to go in with just a tad more concealer, mainly to just brighten up my under eyes. This is the First Aid Beauty Bendy Avocado Concealer. I love this concealer. You guys have probably heard me rave about it time and time again. It is really good. It's solid medium coverage. It bends and flexes with your skin. It looks like skin. I have a hard time with under eye concealers. They have to be really hydrating to work for me, and this is a staple in my makeup collection. I love it. All right. Next, we are going to go in with a cream blush. I'm going to use, actually, I'm going to use something new that I just got today. This is the Flower Beauty Blush Balm Color Drops in the shade Pinched. And I've tried this formula before. I love it, and this shade has been on my wish list for a really long time. So I'm really glad that I finally got my hands on it, and it was on sale. Okay, so here's what the packaging looks like. I'm just going to drop, oh, this is so satisfying. Maybe this will be better to see that little tube fill up. Okay. No, maybe just me? Okay, so I just popped a little bit on my palette here, and I'm taking my IT Cosmetics Duo Fiber brush. This is a really good brush for cream blushes. This shape is just perfect to get onto your cheeks. So I'm gonna try not to go too crazy with this. I think I got a little concealer on my brush. Scott says that he loves working with cream products because it looks like they're coming from inside the skin and it makes you look more youthful. So yes, please. And oh my goodness, I love this shade. And I really love this product. It lasts all day. It is super pigmented, really easy to blend, really easy to work with. If you are looking for a cream blush, definitely check these out. Okay, now that my blush is on, we are going to set where we need to set with powder. I'm going to use my Too Faced Born This Way ethereal setting powder. Perfect for this look, right? Love, love, love this powder. You guys have probably heard me rave about it already. It works so well, especially for my under eyes, which are dry and I have fine lines, and some powders can emphasize those lines and make that area look really dry and cakey, and this powder does not do any of that. It has the same ingredients, I believe, as the foundation, like hyaluronic acid and coconut water and alpine rose, and it just sets everything beautifully. It makes everything feel so soft, and it also blurs my fine lines and pores. This is just such a good powder. So I'm just trying to lightly dust it on, because we still want to glow, but we want everything to stay in place as well. This brush that I'm using is also from IT Cosmetics. It was from a set, I believe it was called Chic in the City, and it's just a really nice fluffy powder brush. Excuse that it is so dirty. Okay. Next, I'm trying to remember what his next step was. I think we are going to go in with a little bit of powder bronzer, because this look is all about the bronze. So I have my Tarte Cosmetics Park Avenue Princess palette, and I'm gonna go in with this shade Carrot pretty lightly at first with this e.l.f. Cosmetics blending brush. I love this brush for bronzer. I just feel like it does a really good job applying it and blending it and not leaving any harsh lines. Next, since we're going under the cheeks, I don't want to do quite as shimmery, so I'm going to do this shade Angle. I'm just taking a little bit on the edge of the brush here, so I can work it in the hollow of my cheek. And this look, he also mentioned, is like a typical look that he would do for film or TV. So he said in person it might look like a lot, but when you're on film or on camera, the lighting and the camera can wash some of your makeup out, as I'm sure a lot of you know. So you have to go in a little bit heavier. I'm also going to just go over those places where I cream contoured with that same shade Angle. Bring that down the neck a bit. The really cool thing about Scott's method is that he works in so many small steps, but the end result is just amazing. I have learned so much from watching that video 5,000 times. All right, I want to be a little more precise on my cheek contouring. I'm gonna grab my Kevin Aquan sculpting powder in the shade Medium and this small contour brush from Luxie that I got in my latest BoxyCharm box, just to give a little more definition. I love this brush because it doesn't leave harsh lines. It's really good at applying it and then blending it. All right. I'm looking down at a mirror, so I've got to check and see what it looks like straight on. I'm just cleaning up a bit underneath that contour and bronzing, but I'm feeling pretty good about where this look is headed. All right. He also talked about he really likes using powders with a little bit of a sheen in them, and I'm so mad at myself. I didn't realize, or I didn't think to use this Be a Light palette from Becca the first time I did this look, but these are both like blurring finishing powders, and they are glowy and beautiful. And he likes to use these kind of powders to soften up contour. So I will be going back in and reaching for this in a minute. I think next step is highlight, which is one of my favorite parts of makeup. I just grabbed my Flower Beauty Shimmer and Strobe Highlighting Palette. This palette packs a serious punch, you guys. I love it so much. It is so beautiful. So first I'm gonna go in with this Moda highlighting brush. It's really fluffy, but it's just really good for getting like a wash of glow all over your cheek. And I'm just mixing all three of these together. That's what Scott does. He says he likes to just mash everything together. I don't know if you can see already this glow that we have going on. Loving it. When I first got this brush, this was another BoxyCharm brush. When I first got it, I was like, oh, I'm never gonna use that. And now I love it. It's so good for like not not necessarily a subtle highlight, but like a blended, diffused highlight. I hope that makes sense. And you can really pile it on with this brush and you'll never look stripy. Just so glowy and fresh. For my temples, I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild tapered highlighter brush so I can get a little bit more of a targeted application. And then I need to apply my eye primer, which I don't believe Scott used on Tati either, but my eyelids are really creasy, so I have to use eye primer every single day. It is not an option. Or it is crease city on my eyelids. So I'm gonna pop on some of this and then I'll use the same highlighters to highlight my brow bone. And maybe then I will do my eyebrows because it is driving me crazy. My eyebrows are usually one of the first steps that I do when I do my makeup. So I need to have them on. And I'm not going to Scott Barnes my eyebrows. I'm just gonna do them normal. Because I'm very particular about my eyebrows. So, all right. Highlighting the brow bone. I hope this glow is picking up on camera because it is beautiful. I am blown away by the quality of this palette. It's not new by any means. People have been raving about it for a long time. I just never picked it up for whatever reason. And I got it earlier in the month or last month, and it is like instant obsession. All right, let's do my brows. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Brow Definer in the shade Soft Brown. All right, so brows are done. This is a new to me brow pencil, and the triangle shape is definitely taking me a little bit to get used to. If you notice a difference in the quality of this video or like where I'm at in the frame, I apologize. I record on my phone and I thought I had plenty of space, but I ran out of space. So I had to borrow my husband's phone, and he has the iPhone XR, I believe, and I have the X. So anyways, that will explain any differences that you see. So my brows are done. Now we're going to do the eyes, which are like so simple but so glamorous in this technique that Scott used. I think I'm gonna use my new BH Cosmetics Hanging in Hawaii palette. If you follow me on Instagram, I used this yesterday for the first time ever, and I am obsessed with it. The quality of this palette is incredible, you guys. Okay, so he first went in with like a medium darker brown and just buffed it into the crease. So I'll take my Luxie 229 tapered blending brush and I think I'm gonna mix, well, no, we'll just go in with this coconut with this shade right here and just buff it in little circular motions into the crease. He only used like 3 shades on Tati and it was such a pretty eye look. And he named this look Snatchural, and I love it. It's natural but snatched. So you look like you, but just a little bit better, which is like my favorite kind of makeup. I'm all about the soft glam. He used his crease brush for this part, and Tati has raved about that brush. I want it so bad, but it has been sold out since their video. So I'm trying to wait patiently for it to come back in stock. I'm just building this up slowly. These mattes are really pigmented, really easy to blend, really easy to work with. I'm going to take that same shade on my little Luxie, this is a mini round brush, and just smudge that on my lower lash line. And then for my lid, I'm going to take this shimmery brown on the bottom called Waikiki. And Scott used his finger, but these shimmers apply beautifully with a brush. So I'm going to use my Luxie 213 eye shading brush. Oh, do you guys see that pigment and that shine? And that little bit of fallout? I am over the moon obsessed with this palette, you guys. I picked it up when it was 40% off, so I got it for like $9, but it retails for $16, and it is worth every penny and then some. This quality tops a lot of high-end eyeshadows that I've tried, you guys. So I hope you don't get sick of me singing its praises, because I'm not gonna stop anytime soon. It is so, so, so good. And it was a perfect choice for this look, I feel like. All right, so Scott also worked that crease color kind of up into like a, not a wing, but, well, maybe a little bit of a wing, which is not something that I usually do, but I'm just using my mini angled Luxie brush to try to achieve that. And then we will take, let's see, I'm looking for a small angled brush. I'll just use this one from Lab Squared. This is the same one that I used for my contouring to just impress. I'm pressing this dark shade Honolulu into my lash line and bringing it out just a little bit. This isn't a super pointy brush, if that makes sense. So you're not going to be able to like draw hairs with it or get super precise. But for a more diffused look, it works really well. I'm just getting rid of any harsh lines. I'm gonna take this shade Shaka on my Sigma E40 to blend everything out just a little bit. Then, again on that mini angled brush from Luxie, I'm taking that same lighter shade to just blend everything out and diffuse it a little bit. All right, so that is pretty much it for the eyeshadow. He used some pretty intense lashes on Tati, so I'm going to use my House of Lashes Iconic Lashes. These are pretty much the most dramatic, voluminous lashes that I own, and these are the lashes that I wore the last time that I created this look, and I just loved the way that they looked. So I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara. I'm going to use my CoverGirl Exhibitionist, and then we will apply some false lashes. All right, so how is that for a dramatic lash? I love this style. When I first bought them, I was really intimidated and thought they were way too huge, but I have grown to love them. They're definitely not an everyday lash, but they are super fun for special occasions and extra glam looks. All right, so lashes are on. We are almost done, you guys. I'm just going to contour my jaw a bit more with my Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder. That was something that Scott really focused on in this look. And I want to try buffing it out with my Becca blurring finishing powders. Because like I said, I'm so mad that I did not think to use them the first time I created this look. I was like racking my brain. What powders do I have that have a sheen to them? And I had some sitting right in my drawer. Didn't even cross my mind. All right, so I'm gonna take the deeper shade here. I think I'm gonna just take this IT Cosmetics powder brush. and just buff it in. I also need to do a bit more to my nose contour. I just don't want to mess with it. But it needs to be tweaked. So I feel like because I have a broader nose, I have to contour it with a little bit wider lines, if that makes sense. So this next part is not Scott Barnes approved, full disclosure. All right, there we go. Now, of course, we just have to do a little bit more blending. And, oh, I need to highlight my inner corner. And I am gonna put a little highlighter on the bridge of my nose. I love using my ColourPop small fluffy brush, I think is what this is called, for my nose, because it has a really thin point at the tip that I just feel like is perfect for getting down the bridge of your nose. Also gonna put a little teeny bit here. And I need to highlight my inner corner. So we'll go with this gold shade for that. I hope you guys have noticed how many drugstore products I have used for this video. Like, holy cow, drugstore makeup has come such a long way, and I am here for it. Okay, now for lips, we'll do lips, and then I will do some setting spray. I don't believe Scott used any on Tati, but I need it. I want to lock this in place all day long. So for lips, he used a lip liner and did a little bit more overlining. I really love, this is actually an eye and a brow pencil. This is from NYX. It's their eye and eyebrow pencil in the shade Taupe. It is so good for overlining and contouring your lips. And when I overline my lips, I like to overline it here in the middle, the Cupid's bow and underneath, and then I bring it back in so that the edges meet. Otherwise, it just looks a little crazy. But it's amazing by just how cheating your lip line a little bit, how much fuller it can make your lips look. And then I just like filling them in at the corners and blending around the lines so that it's not just one harsh line. I think the next thing he did is he just put a really shimmery lip gloss on her. I tried that last time, and while I liked it, I felt like I needed a little bit more color as a base underneath. So I'm going to apply this MAC Cream Sheen Lip Gloss in the shade McKizzle. This was from the Mariah Carey collaboration. It's a really pretty nude. And then we will put a super shimmery lip gloss on top. I'm wondering if I got one out. I have to grab one. I'm actually thinking I might use a Huda Beauty lip strobe to go with this look. This is in the shade Ritzy. So let's try this out and see what we think. Yes, I think we like. He also has a way of applying lip gloss that he doesn't like smear it back and forth. He kind of flicks it so that you're not erasing your contour or disturbing anything underneath it. All right, so lips are done. I'm going to apply setting spray and then do my bottom mascara, because when I do my bottom mascara beforehand, it always transfers when I put on my setting spray. So first I'm gonna go in with my Skin to Navia Makeup Finishing Spray. This is their bridal formula. It is the best setting spray ever if you want your makeup to last and last. This also helps your makeup to be water resistant. And then, because I'm feeling a little extra today, I'm gonna go over the top of it with my Anastasia Dewy Set to just help give my skin even more of that dewy glow. Just have to wait for this to dry. The Skin to Navia has such a fine mist. I love it. It is such a good setting spray. Definitely holy grail, definitely something I will always have on hand. All right, so now I think I'm just gonna do the dewy set on the sides of my face and not worry about my T-zone, because my T-zone can get oily, and we are gonna be spending some time outside today. We are taking my little one to a petting zoo and I'm really excited. It smells so good. This is another setting spray that is just the best. I am obsessed with it. It makes my makeup just look fresh and radiant all day. It's not oily or heavy or sticky, and it's not like you have to be careful with how much you spray like the Tatcha spray. It just makes your skin look so healthy and radiant and dewy. I love it. All right, now let's do my lower lashes, and I think we're done. I just got mascara under my eye, of course. with this technique, you are wearing quite a bit of makeup, but it doesn't look like it. It just looks like you have really beautiful, healthy skin. Oh, another mascara mishap. Okay, so what I do when I get mascara anywhere but my lashes is I wait for it to dry, and then I just take a little Q-tip and I wipe it away. And this CoverGirl mascara does a really good job at wiping away cleanly as long as you wait for it to dry. So let me just do a final check. And then I will fix my hair and I will come back and show you the final look. Guys, here is the finished look. I really love the way that it turned out. Again, this is not something that I would do for every day. It takes way too long, but I do really, really, really love this makeup. I'm so glad that Scott Barnes was so generous in sharing his knowledge and techniques with us in Tati's video. And this is definitely a look that I will reserve for special occasions, and it was just really fun to learn some new techniques and to try them out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will post some pictures on my Instagram, some selfies today. I'm filming this on Saturday, so it's Glam Saturday for me. And thank you for spending time with me. If you liked this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I just appreciate you guys for being here and spending time with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Oh, it's on.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay. Thanks, babe.